All right, we are at the top of the hour, so I think we should begin here. Once again, thank you, everybody, and welcome to the ACT Training webinar series for January 2025. Today, our topic is SMS text messaging in ACT. We're going to be showing you how you can extend your reach by using this feature and also driving some connections to help your business grow. So we're going to cover this feature, SMS for ACT. I'm going to give you a live demonstration, show you 4 different things here, probably more than 4 things, but I have 4 bullets there. We're going to show you how to create and send text messages, creating templates so that you can sort of ease the process of sending those messages out, then viewing the history of both sent and received messages. And at the end, I'm going to show you how to get started. So if you just want to take a look at this feature, and maybe get a trial version going, I'll show you how to do that as well. As always, we have our Q&A panel in Zoom that's available for you. Some of you have said you don't know where that is. Usually in Zoom, if you go to the More menu, if you have your little Zoom toolbar, there's a More button towards the right. If you click that, you'll see in that menu that there's a Q&A option there. So launch that, because that's where we want you to ask any of the questions that you have today. I've got Ed Scott and Dan Horn over in the UK, a couple of fine lads. They're going to be answering those questions today. They're going to help us out a whole bunch. So feel free to use the Q&A panel for that. I just ask that you kind of stay on topic. We really want this this webinar to be about the SMS for ACT feature here. In addition, this is being recorded. So if you want to watch this later, share it with anybody else at your company, we're going to send you a link to the email address that you used when you registered for this, so that you'll be able to view this recording on demand. It's also going to be listed on our website at act.com/explore. On that website, you can see not only this session on demand, but every previous session we've done prior to this. I think this is our 25th webinar from this series. So there's a lot of stuff in the library you can view there as well. At the end of this webinar, we're going to send you a survey where we ask you, what are some things that you liked? What are some things we can do better? And are there any future webinar topics that you'd like us to cover? So we read all of those, so please give us your responses there. We would appreciate that too. All right, so let's begin. My name is Brent Milner. I'm in Arizona. I'm in northern Arizona. I've been working with ACT for about 19 years now. My job here is to create training videos, anything that might teach our employees, our customers, our partners. That's part of my job. Like I mentioned, I'm in northern Arizona. We've got some fresh snow up here. Yes, it does snow in Arizona, and I have it right outside right now. Also, joining me today is going to be Joe Greenspan. He leads a team. He's focused on customer revenue growth, strategic commercial programs, and operational excellence. Joe's been here for over 20 years. He's got me beat. But he's a change agent. He drives pricing, commercial strategies. He handles service and product launches. He helps the sales team, enabling them to be better. And he also works with customer lifecycle activities. So Joe's very busy around here. He's a vet among vets here at ACT. Joe also is in Arizona. He likes our sad Arizona sports teams that always underperform. So Joe and I are brothers in shame for that topic. But Joe also travels a lot, and he has 3 boys that he spends a lot of time with. So let's get started. And what I want to do here is just hand it over to Joe, who's going to introduce this topic. So take it away, Joe.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome everyone. This is Joe Greenspan, and I want to thank you for attending as well. It's great to see so many of you online with us today again. So, as we do each month on these webinars, we want to give you exposure to new ways to use ACT to streamline your business and to help you achieve your objectives. And today's topic is a great example of both of these, and it's a personal favorite of mine, as we're seeing a ton of interest from our customers in the use of SMS messaging as a way not only to reach new audiences, but more importantly, to grab people's attention and to get them to take action. So email remains the number one way our customers communicate with their clients and their prospects. And if you've attended any of our webinars on ACT marketing automation, you've seen that we've got great solutions for you on that front right within ACT. But the reality is, to reach the broadest audience possible and to cut through what I call the clutter, you need to deploy communications across multiple different mediums. And SMS is one of the best out there. And we'll get into why today. So, if you look at some of the stats I have presented here on the slide, the open and read rates for SMS texts are extremely high. So people are conditioned to check their phones when that ping sound or when that vibration goes off. So the question is, how do you take advantage of that? Well, the case is best made by looking at some relevant use cases across different industries. So let's think about some situations where getting information into people's hands right away is critical and can give your business an edge. So one great use case is mortgage brokers, for example. They could send a text to their client base or their prospects noting that the Federal Reserve has lowered interest rates and it's time to take a look at maybe refinancing their mortgage. Or, think about a real estate agent that wants to let clients know that a new beachfront property has hit the market first thing in the morning. SMS is a great tool in that example as well. Or think about a manufacturing company or a distributor that needs to let former buyers know about a recall of, say, a tainted food item or a defect in a product that their customers need to stop using immediately. These are all great use cases for SMS because it is vital that the information gets there quickly and vital that the recipient view it and act on it immediately. So there are hundreds of use cases like this across nearly every industry, limited only by your creativity. So the other thing is SMS is also a very cost-effective tool when it's deployed judiciously with a very high return on investment. And that's why we think it's such a powerful extension of your app CRM solution. So let's press on. Okay, so there are a lot of ways to send text messages, but just like with our integrated email marketing solution, there is great value and convenience in being able to send these messages directly from within Act. So besides having everything all in one place, so you're not having to deal with multiple apps or multiple platforms, because it's all integrated into Act, you can use your existing customer list, group, you can track and send your activity, contact, and you can record replies directly in individual customer records in Act. So Act is that one-stop shop for all your communication methods and all your outreach, whether it be phone, email, and now SMS messaging, which is a big, big benefit in terms of efficiency. So I'm going to hand it over to Brent now. He's going to walk you through a demo, show you guys some examples, and talk a little bit about how you can get started with SMS messaging right away. So I'll join you again at the end for a couple of closing comments. And with that, I'll turn it back to Brent.
All right. Thanks a lot, Joe. So as Joe mentioned, email marketing is, of course, effective. It's been that way for decades. But what we found is that text messaging is a great way to keep in contact with customers. And I like those examples that Joe gave us. Um, I might approach my email inbox differently than the texts I receive. And I think most people are like that. It doesn't mean you should forego using email in favor of text. Each of them has a unique place in how you communicate with your customers. So don't give up on your email marketing strategy. And instead of that, we want you to supplement it with sending these SMS messages to help you perfect the way you reach your people. And so what I'm going to show you today is SMS for ACT and how you can send text messages quickly and easily. And one benefit is that your texts, both sent and received, will all show up as history records for your contacts in ACT. So uh, you're going to be able to personalize your text messages for any occasion, whether it's scheduling with your customers, shipping notifications, new promotions, product recalls, appointment reminders, any of those types of things will be a great way for you to personalize these to get the maximum effect. And now SMS for ACT teams with Message Media, a global leader, one of the best partners possible as a reliable messaging partner. So first, what I'm going to show you here is how do you send text messages out? I'm going to jump into ACT on my desktop here. This works in both the desktop environment and the cloud environment. I'm just going to use the desktop for my demonstration today. So let's say I have a contact here. His name is Sterling Holland, and I would like to send a text to him. All I need to do is look up his contact record like this. So I'm looking at the detail view for Sterling. Um, I should mention that ACT is going to use phone numbers in the phone fields that you have. By default, it's going to go to the mobile phone field. So I'm just going to put in a fake number in here real quick, and then save this contact record just to make sure I have a phone number available. Once you have that phone number field in there, you'll go to your send SMS menu at the top, or just the SMS menu at the very top here. Either one will work. And we're going to choose send SMS. Now this launches a window, a little window, SMS for ACT window, where you can begin to craft this message. Now, what you need to do though is choose who you're sending it to, whether it's the current contact, and it tells me I've looked up Sterling Holland, or it can also send by lookups, and I'll show you how this works in just a little bit. But now all you need to do is just type in a simple text message here. I'm just going to copy and paste something from my notepad so I don't have to type it all out. So I'm telling him, Sterling, I'm going to contact him on Monday to check on the status of his installation. And you can see here, this phone field is going to default to the mobile phone field. If I had other phone fields saved in ACT, it would let me choose which one I want to send it to. But all we have to do now is just click the send button, and it'll send this message out. Gives you a little um, verification that you want to send this message to this person at this phone number. And when you click yes, it's going to attempt to send that message out. Now, one thing that it'll do here is it will record this as a history record, which I can show you right now too. If I'm looking at the history record for Sterling, one thing that we've added now is a new activity type. So we'll have to make sure that this filter is enabled so that you can see the SMS activity history types. I've disabled it just so I can show you how to enable it. It's located within the activity histories area, so expand the activity histories, and then you'll see that there is a new SMS category here. If I expand that, there are 4 different history results that we can choose from. I'm just going to select SMS sent, and I have this set to the last 7 days. So we can see that I've sent this message to him twice. I sent it once last week, and I also sent it today. So I can see the histories of the SMS messages that I sent out. What about receiving a response from Sterling? So I've sent this text to Sterling, but what happens now when he replies to me? Well, one of the things you can do is go to your SMS menu and choose account settings. One of the neat things here is in this SMS replies area, you can choose to automatically check for replies every so often, and it will record history. So if you set it to 5 minutes, that's great, or 15 minutes, or whatever you think, depending on the frequency of the text that you're sending out, how often you should check for replies. So all you have to do is check that box to enable that. The other thing you can do is you can have SMS replies sent to your email address. So I have my email address put in here, and whenever any of my customers reply to one of my text messages, that reply will also be forwarded to my email address, so that I'll receive an email when that happens too. Um, let's look at that. I think I have a screenshot of that email that came in. Yeah, here we go. So I took a screenshot of my email account here to show you what this reply would look like. So I'm getting a reply, and it tells me the phone number. I've blurred that out, but it also tells me the name of the contact, and then his reply is here. So I have that saved to my email, but also in ACT, if I enable um, the SMS replies option, and then click outside that box, it'll show me these replies as well that he sent back to me. We can also send out SMS messages to either a lookup or a group. So let me perform a quick lookup to send out a text message to several people at once. Let's say I wanted to look up my customers that I've added, my new customers, maybe from the last week or so. So I'm going to choose to look up all contacts who have a create date that is within the last 7 days. This is a basic search. Any new contacts that have been created within the last 7 days. I can see I have 3 of them there. So now maybe I want to send out a text message to all 3 of them to just kind of welcome them aboard. Thanks for being a customer. I'll go to my SMS menu again, and we'll send an SMS. And now this time, instead of using a current contact, I'm going to send this to the current lookup. And that's one way we can do it. Now I can craft my message and send it out to them. Or you can send out a text message to a group. If I go to my groups area in Act, I can look up a similar group that I've created. I think I called it Contacts of the Week. Here they are. So this is the same thing. It's a dynamic group that I've created that shows um, all of the contacts I've created within the past 7 days. I'm going to click this Send SMS button at the top. And now it's because I'm looking at a group, I can choose to send this to the current group, and it tells me there's 3 contacts in here that it'll send it to. So lots of options there. You can send your text to one contact or a lookup or a group. So a few options there for you on who you want to send this to. We can also create templates. So this is a great way to create messages that you might reuse in the future, that you may want to personalize for each contact. Uh, let me show you how to do that real quick. If I go back to my contacts area, um, maybe I want to send um, a specific text message to Sterling again. So let me go back to Sterling's record. Let's find him here. And this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a template and I'll send it to Sterling. So I'm going to go to my SMS menu here at the top, and this time I'm going to choose Manage Templates. I have a few templates I've created already, but I'm going to create a new template. So the way to do this is I'm going to just type in the body, the content of the text into the field down here, and then I'll save it as a template. So I've got some text I created ahead of time here. So what I've done here is I've created a message to let my contacts know that they have an inspection scheduled, right? But I've got some fields here that I want to link, some fields I want to merge from my ACT database. So I've initially inputted these in as just X's and Y's, but now what I can do is I can double click this to highlight that string of X's, and now I'm going to insert a field. So maybe I want to start with the salutation field because maybe I have a nickname or something for my contacts that I want to use here. So I'll scroll down to salutation, oops, and I'll click insert field. What that's going to do is it's going to replace those X's with the contact salutation field. And then I can do the same thing for my name. Now this will use the my account record. So whoever's logged in into ACT, that's the field that it'll use here. So instead of using a contact type, I'm going to use the my record field type. And then I'm going to just use my first name. And I'll click insert field here. So now it's going to say, hello, Sterling, this is Brent, because this M stands for the my record account, that person who's logged in and is taking my first name from that contact record. And the same thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my company name here. So using the my record, I'll just copy in the company name and it'll put my company name in there. And then I can continue forward and edit this template however I want to. But what I want to do here is I'm going to save this template and I'm going to call it on-site inspection verification. So that now it's going to save it as a .sms file. And now going forward, I can just open a template and send this out to Sterling. So what I'm going to do right now is close this window and I'm going to send a template, or I'm going to send a message to Sterling. But instead of typing, I'm just going to use this open button to find my on-site inspection verification template that I've created. And when I click open, notice that it now merges in the fields as I have intended them to do. So now I can fire this off to Sterling and he'll know that he has an inspection scheduled for this Friday at 1 p.m. You can also edit any templates that you've created previously by going into your template manager. And let's open one that I created yesterday. I think I created one called New Customer. Let's open that. And to edit a template, all you have to do is just type in anything you want there and click Save. And now you have this template edited for future use. So this template manager will let you create and edit any templates that you have that you want to send out to your customers. So let's say I wanted to send a template to a group again of multiple contacts like I've done before. We'll go back into my lookup and we'll just do that same lookup that we did earlier, where I'm going to look up contacts that were created within the last 7 days. Now when I go to my send SMS button and I open my new template, we'll be able to send this template out to the current lookup. When I change the current lookup though, notice it doesn't uh, replace these fields with the actual merged data. That's because I'm sending it to multiple contacts. It will replace those fields once the messages are sent to each of these contacts. But for now, it's just showing you this is going to be a merged field that gets replaced once this message is sent. Okay, the next thing I want to do is show you how to um, begin by creating a new trial. And to do that, I need to switch to another database that doesn't yet have um, SMS for ACT enabled. But just to review, you can view any of the messages that you've sent or received um, in ACT by going to the history tab inside ACT. Also, you can view it on the history list, which I'll show you in just a second here. Actually, you know what, let me do that now. Let me go back to my previous database here, and I'll show you where that appears on the history list. So you can view it on the history tab for a specific contact, or you can go into the history list inside ACT to show all of your texts in one place to multiple contacts. Um, so as it shows on this screen here, this screenshot I'm showing you the history tab for a specific contact, and up top we see the history list. But let me show you how to enable your filters just to make sure that shows up for you. So if I go to my history list, you'll see I have specific history items here based on filters that I've selected. Again, go into your activity histories and enable this SMS history or this SMS checkbox. That will enable all 4 of the result types so that you can see all those in one area. So now I can see I have a reply, an SMS sent, another SMS sent. So those all show up in your history list in one area for all contacts that you're sending and receiving texts from. Okay, lastly, I want to show you how you can get started with the SMS for ACT feature here. What you're going to do is you're going to sign up for a 14-day free trial, and there's some things that are going to happen here when you create this sign up. ACT is going to need to create those activity types for you so that you have an SMS activity type with the SMS reply sent results of that, so that when you look up your histories, you can see them as they appear for me. So let's go in there and let's see how to begin. So I'm using a database that doesn't yet have anything set up. I'm going to go to my SMS menu and we're going to choose Get Started. Now this is going to be a free trial. So of course, this is going to be in a throttled state until you convert to a subscribed account. Now currently you can't send out any messages on a free trial. I understand that's going to be changing shortly to where trial users who have an ACT subscription will be able to send out text to a limited number of contacts. But in the meantime, at least you can sample the functionality here to see how it integrates with your ACT account. So it takes 3 steps to begin. The first step is we need to create some fields in our database, the SMS activity type in the database. Now, this is going to lock your database when you do this. So just be prepared if you have other customers, other clients, I'm sorry, or other employees who are logged into your ACT database. This is going to lock them out for the duration of creating this activity type. It doesn't take very long, but it tells you it's going to create the SMS activity type, and it's going to create the 4 results: sent, reply, alert, and error. Once you click OK, it's going to lock the database just temporarily to create it, and then once it's done, it creates that. So I have this SMS activity type created. And now the next step is to put in your email address of where you want your SMS messages to be forwarded um, once you get replies. So I'll just put in my email address, brent@gmail.com. That's really not me, but I'm going to put that in there anyway. And then choose a location. Where are you sending your SMS messages from? This is very important because it will route you to um, the correct area, the correct location for these text messages to be sent. And then the last step is just to click the free trial button. Once you do that, it will enable this and it'll tell you what you have. You have 2 weeks and you have 25 credits remaining. Now, credits um, stand for how many text messages you can send out. So how do the credits work? Well, it really is going to add up your regular characters versus any Unicode characters like emojis and things like that to add up the number of characters, which will equal credits. So one credit covers 160 characters if you're not using any Unicode or emojis. Once you start using Unicode characters or emojis, that number will lower down to 70 characters um, to equal 1 credit. Emojis use 2 Unicode characters each. So if you're using emojis, you're going to run out of credits really fast. So just use those sparingly. As you're sending out your text messages, the SMS window will calculate the number of credits that you're going to consume by sending out that message. So that at least you know ahead of time um, what you're doing before you do it. Finally, how do you upgrade to a paid version of SMS for Act? Well, there's a link here in the Getting Started area that you can click uh, down here to then sign up and get the paid version. Now, this link varies by location, so make sure you're choosing the correct location here on your Get Started window. So that's how simple it is to use SMS for Act and to get started with it. Now, I think we have some closing comments, so I'm going to send it back over to Joe.
All right, thank you, Brent. Excellent stuff. Appreciate it. So, Brent has given you all a great overview of the SMS solution with Act, but I encourage you to give it a spin for yourself by doing that free trial. The use of SMS messaging is exploding, and it's a really good time to get in on the action, but in a way that makes sense for your business and your unique industry. So you can see here we have plans that start as little as $19 a month and go up from there, all depending on the volume. And at as low as 2.5 cents per text, it's again a cost-effective way to send those targeted messages to groups or segments of customers, specific clients that you simply must have them see a message in real time. So there's a web page on our site that you can see there on the slide. I encourage you to visit it to get more information, learn more about the solution and how you can get started and use it most effectively. So let's press on. Okay, so one additional thing I want to give you all exposure to is our new mobile app, which has been in market for about 6 months now and works on both Apple and Android devices. So this product is available only to customers using the cloud version of Act, and it's one of several features exclusive to that platform. So this is a all new product built from the ground up using the latest design, the latest usability standards, and really was purpose built for mobile use cases, meaning it's got just what you need, where you need it, so you can be really productive when you're on the go. It's very slick, and we're getting excellent feedback on it across the board. So you can access and edit contacts, calendars, opportunities, activities, notes, history, all the usual suspects very quickly, and also make calls, send texts, send emails with a simple click. So there's also some really cool features like proximity search that locates customers or prospects in a specific geographic boundary that you set up on a map and lets you drill into their records in a click. So if you are an Act Premium Cloud customer and you haven't yet downloaded the new mobile app, it's super easy. You can point your phone right at the QR code there on the slide. It will intuitively know whether you're on an Android or an iOS device and send you right into the App Store. Or you can visit our website for more info. And again, you're going to get this deck and the recording if you're not able to capture that QR code here in real time. But with that, let's bring it home, Brent. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, we really appreciate seeing so many of you each month on these training webinars. We have a web page set up at act.com/explore, where you can sign up for upcoming webcasts. You can view recordings of ones you may have missed from months prior. There's a ton of great content here, ranging from product how-to guidance, best practices for sales and marketing, guidance on reporting and analytics, you name it. So, with these recordings, you can watch them at your own pace when it's convenient for you and take the time you need. You can also email us at team@act.com. Email you see there on the slide as well. If you have suggestions or ideas for future monthly webcasts, we love getting that feedback from you all. So with that, we want to thank you and take care. We are going to stay on the webinar a bit longer to address additional questions in the Q&A panel. So please continue to submit those and we'll stay on as long as we need to. But with that, thank you all and have a wonderful day.